Disclaimer: this product was provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone. To have your product reviewed, visit bit.ly/reviewmyproduct.
Now, I don't have any 20mm fans, but I'm just putting it up there for support. So we're first going to go ahead and slide these guys right up here. And it looks like we might run into some more frustration up here because of these plastic brackets right here. I can't fit those nuts in place, so going to have to unscrew this. So now I'm going to put these guys right in here. And while I have this out, wow, I'm going to go ahead. I just realized it's not big enough, so I'm gonna have to slide it in like that. So let me bring you back down 1 sec. Now the other side, I'm not going to have that problem with those two plastic pieces blocking access, because thankfully the other side doesn't have them. Alright, so let me put you back up. Alright, and looks like those pieces have not moved much. So I should hopefully be able to just screw them back in. Good. One side, and now let's see what the other side holds for me. Perfect. The least frustrating part of the build was that part right there. All right. And I have a lot of patience, but man, I feel like this should be so much easier. Alright, so the two 12cm fan brackets right up here. Okay, so now we have to put this piece right in the back. So that's going to go right back here. And I feel like that's going to be a little bit more frustrating. So give me 1 sec, bring you down. Okay, we can see here, because of this piece of plastic, I probably won't be able to get anything down there. But I've loosened up this screw. Now it looks a lot more promising. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a try now. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in there. I know I'm a glutton for punishment. Let's see if it works. Okay, it looks like it does work, so gonna give that a try. Just putting all these in their place. All right, here we go. One, So now I have to fight with it because now I gotta get this side in too, but this side should be a lot easier. All right, 2. All right, and I got this frustrating side in. Oh. All right, so now, oh man, now I gotta take the whole thing out again. So I had the nut fall in. Oh boy. Tell you, if I didn't love computers so much, I would have quit a long time ago. Okay. So try number, what is that, 3 now? Alright, that side's in. Now this one again. Sweet. Alright, so now Okay, and now let me tighten this guy back up again. Perfect. All right, so now let's see what the next page has for me. Okay. More frustration. So now we can see I have to put in the 120 millimeter fan brackets up here, and then after that the back piece for the IO shield. So just to make sure I have it right, okay, it's going to go like that. So I am going to put, let me raise the camera up a little bit. Alright guys, so I need to get this piece right in here. So yet another reason why I think they missed a lot on this manual. So to get that over there, I'm going to go ahead, flip the case over on its side. Now since this is going to have to go right in here, it's going to have to fit right in there. I'm going to have to get these pieces right here. So for that, I'm going to have to take this out, and I'm going to have to slide some of these in these rails right here. So the way that I found that I could do this is first put out my fingertip like this and kind of just slide it into place. Okay, so we have one in there, and remember we need to fit 3 in there. So I'm going to put another one in there. Two. All right, so number 3. So now we got to get this guy in here, which thankfully is the easiest part. And then align all of these pieces here. And I'm sorry guys, I have really bad angles, but there is no good way to film this. All right, one in there. These, I think, just fell into place. Two in there. And last but certainly not least, the third one. So let's see how they have it in here. Okay, so they have a space on the very bottom. So I'm just going to slide that up, make sure it's all the way up, and then go ahead Thankfully, we didn't need to disassemble anything. Oops, this piece fell out. All right, so got that in there. And now we need to place another piece right over here. It looks like there is no wrong way to put it. They don't really give you, as you can see here, good instructions on where things go. They have the bad angles as well. So the way I did it for this side would probably be the same way I do it right over here, but it's going to be a lot easier because I don't have obstruction here. Actually, I do. I still gotta fit it in over here and over here, but the way I did it before should be good enough. I'm lefty, so I'll go ahead and use my left hand instead. Now it's a little bit wobbly, only because I've had to unscrew a lot of things. I'll go ahead and tighten those before I'm completely done with this build. Oh, look at that. Oh, if I would have known that a while ago. So it looks like you can just go ahead and drop them in like this. And just turn them. I swear these instructions. That was a lot easier. Oh boy. I probably could have saved so much time figuring that out earlier. And now, rather than relying on which way to go, I shifted up and down and I saw that this would match here. So I'm keeping it just match the way it is over there. Okay. Now on to page 9. In the frustration, I moved everything out of order. All right, so number 7 is to fasten the rear panels and power swish on the main body with tools. Pay attention to the alignment mark here. So they show some mark over here that aligns with something, but I'm not too sure, and I didn't say switch because they say swish there. So this is the switch they're talking about, which is a switch. Now I'm going to have to see, maybe go to page 10. They don't really go into detail on how the power switch connects. So I'm probably going to have to come back to that at a later point. So we'll go to page 10. And now they show putting the I/O shield to the back here. So they show it here. And the I/O shield right back here. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach that. And I think the power switch is in the back of the machine, which is odd. Here's the back and the power switch is right there. Odd placement, but I guess to keep the aesthetics, they put it back there. So they say to use screw number 5. So we'll go back to the manual. Screw number 5 is this assorted set of screws. And I think we're going to have to screw it in from the back. So from back here. Right here, if you can see. That wouldn't work. Oh, I see why. So during shipping this got a little bent, so just need to bend it back in place. And again, just to make sure I have the power switch. Sorry guys, it's really late. The power switch, or the I/O shield in the right place. Just going to match it up like that, just like the manual shows right here. And then set it right over here. All right, and now I screw it into place. I'm not going to screw it in totally tight until I'm done, of course, just to make sure everything's in the right spot. All right, so everything's in there. So now I'm just tightening everything. Alright, so we're good here. And now we just put this in on the back here, which it looks like we're going to run into the same issue. Oh, not here, but over here and up here. So what I'm going to have to do is what I did down there. Just going to go ahead and loosen these guys up a little bit. And thankfully, because the screws are a little bit loose right now, I can just kind of bend the case, put everything in its spot, and then bend it back. Putting in the pilot screws. All the screws are very loose right now, but again, it's just so that I can fit the pilot screws in there. All right. Let's see if they give you any advice on where to put things. They don't, so I'm going to assume it's right in the center. And if the instructions were written better, I wouldn't have to assume and kind of second guess myself. Okay, and again, it's very dirty right now, but when I'm done, I'm just gonna wipe everything down and that'll be good enough. All right, now page 11 out of 13. So we're almost done here, guys. I know we've been on it for hours and hours, but I feel good about this now. All right, so now we need to get Okay, the manual states 4 and 7, but the problem is 4 and 7 are too short. This is 7 and this is 6. So the way they want you to do it, and they don't say it at all, is, see over here they tell you 4 and 7, but then they show 6 here. So it's a little bit confusing. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use 6 to go right into here, and then I'm going to screw in the nut. Screwing in the nut like this gives it threading for a screw on this side. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually, before I continue the rest of them, because I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to go, before I continue to put the faceplate back on, which by the way is optional, but I will show it to you because it reduces overall airflow. So I'm going to go ahead and attach all of these guys here. Okay, now that I have all the nuts in place, here, 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 and here, just gonna go ahead, pop this right here. Now I'm gonna use number 6, or number 7, sorry. Just attach it to there. So in order for you to attach it correctly though, you will need 2 screwdrivers, one to screw in one side and the other side at the same time. If not, it'll work without it, but it'll just be a little bit loose. Okay, so again, it's loose right now. I need to tighten every single screw, so let me go ahead and do that now. All right, so let's go ahead and now, so this is 12 of 13. We are on the last page. So now they have a clear panel right here, which is this bad boy right over here. And let me go ahead and wipe this down before I put it on there, just to get all the dust off. All right, and yet again, we gotta put the those nuts in there. So 1 sec while I do that. But again, now that we have the trick, it's so much easier. The only problem is, because it will slide, we just need to put it like this. 1, 2, and 3. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Forgot we could just drop it in there. 1, 2, and 3. So let me zoom up real close so you can see exactly how that little trick works. Okay, so here's the screw. So all we do turn it. And now that we have it turned, not enough. Maybe turn it the other way. Nope. So that way is correct. Okay, now gotta push a little bit, but there we go. Pops right into place. You gotta fight. You do have to fight. And let me see if I can get a better shot of this. Alright. That's a little bit better for you. So again, we put it in sideways. Turn. Oh, that one, we didn't even need to do anything. So let's try with this one, see if we get the same result. Oops. Okay, not all of them are going to get it, I guess. But that's good that you got to see one way. Okay, now this. There we go. So that one went easy. This one was a little bit more difficult. But at least you get to see real world how that works. So let me go ahead, move the case, and zoom out. So now that we have that, we put this in here. We grab 7, which is the shorter of the two between 6 and 7, or 4 and 7, I should say. Okay, so now we grab 6. They say 7 here, but it's not working for me, so I grab 7. I'm sorry, I grab 6. They say grab 7. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put all the screws in their place, or all the nuts in their place. All right, and then the final one over here. All right, so it looks like we're good there. And now we have to attach these guys that are going to go right over here, over the corner. So what we're going to do is, all right, and I just realized that on step 10, after you put on the front mesh, they're saying to install all the hardware. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just build up the case entirely, and then after that, just like any regular case, after that, then we go ahead and take everything off, again like we would on a regular case, and then just put everything back together. So right over here, we're going to pop this guy right here, and it looks like we're going to run into the same thing that we've had with the entire build of the case. We're going to have to put the little nuts right over here. So one sec. Alright, so we're just going to dump one of the nuts here. And another nut right over here. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead and put this down, and then we have to measure kind of with our eyes where these nuts should be. Actually, one of the easier things on this build. Let me move the camera a little bit more. Alright, so the cover is going to be covering right over here so that the edges don't stick out too much. Alright, so that's one side. Now I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is let's do all three sides real quick. One of the frustrating things now about having a magnetic tip screwdriver is I move it, then the nut wants to go with it. Alright, and now we'll do the other corner. Seems to be a lot easier when you have a second screwdriver to spin these around. I was thinking before a needle nose plier, but it didn't work out so well, so I nixed that idea. Alright, so now with that done, we'll go ahead and do the other side real quick. Alright, now with that done, we'll go ahead and screw it in. Alright, now to the last two sides. Okay, and the last side. Now, this was completely my fault. I slammed it in and, well, I broke off a piece. This has nothing to do with the quality of the case. That was my fault. In a little bit of the frustration, I broke that piece off. So, again, it has nothing to do with the quality of the case. It really has to do with the quality of my slam on it. Alright, so now we're pretty much done here. Let me zoom out a sec. Alright, so as I was building it, I didn't put this power button in just yet, because I figured I was going to have to move things around a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and install that now. It looks relatively simple. So I'm just going to bring the case around the back and lift the camera up so you can see where it goes. Back here, you can see a little circle here in the mesh. Just right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this piece right here. Just completely take it off. Okay, now we're going to feed this piece back here. Just let it fall all the way in. And so your button is just going to be right there. Now we just grab that cable, slide it through here. Now I'm going to zoom the camera out. Actually, I'm going to bring the camera in so you can see what I'm doing up here. I'm just going to feed it through up here, and then right up here. And actually, I'll take it out so you can see what I'm about to do. So this guy right here screws into the threading right here. So again, just going to put it back through where it was before. Feed that ring through. Now that I have it in, let me flip the case upside down so you get a better view. One sec. And I'm just going to screw that in. Trying to see how I can get a good angle for you. Easy enough just to do with your fingertips. Slides in there and just tighten a little bit, and that's pretty much it. So now there's going to be the part that I am going to dread. Let me zoom out. Which I'm loving the case so far. It is beautiful. It has been a big pain in the butt to build, but in order for you to put the side panels on, you're going to need to use these guys again, the little nuts, and unfortunately it is going to be a big pain in the butt. So let me do that real quick, one sec. So we're going to start off with the rear panel. Just going to put it here because right back here is going to be the easiest place. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything away and do it sitting down, so it'll be a lot easier for me and for you guys to see exactly what I do. So one sec. Again, put down the washer here. And this could be potentially a little bit more frustrating because all sides have to match. 6 different sides have to match now. So let's see here, oh, piece of tape. Thought I would be lucky my first time. I was not. Pretty good. Alright, so now the hard part is going to be putting all the rest together, and because any little slight movement could mess things up, I'm going to go ahead and move the camera a little bit and then take care of all 4 sides, or all 3 sides, sorry, triangle. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and do the other sides off camera because the camera's in the way of everything. So give me a sec, I'll be right back. Here is the final build. Here is the back. And I have not put in this side just yet because I am going to build into it now. And I need to speak to Geek about replacing the panel I broke. Again, 100% my fault, and it's a lot more than just that. Yeah, I did a lot of damage, and again, it was my fault. Alright, so the next part of this video, which will come a little bit later on, is me putting my computer equipment into here, and this being a full-fledged PC system. Anyway, this is Iggy with Dragonblogger, again, building up the Geeek H700 WC, not your regular case. It is pretty different. There is a lot of room for improvement in the manuals, which I will be communicating to Geek themselves. And as I've been building this, everything I've been telling them, they've actually been taking to heart and updating the manuals too, which is pretty awesome. You don't find a lot of companies that do that. Of course, they want this to be the biggest and the best case for you guys, you know, their customers. Without you guys, you know, companies like this don't exist. So they definitely are welcome to feedback, and that's about it for now. Again, Iggy with Dragonblogger doing a full build on the H700 case from Geek. Iggy with Dragonblogger out. See you guys.
Disclaimer: this product was provided to the author to do a review. All opinions are 100% authors and authors alone. For more information, visit bit.ly/dbdisclose. To have your product or brand showcased on Dragonblogger, visit bit.ly/reviewmyproduct. Thank you for watching.